Today we're going to
do a movie review
and spoil Skyscraper.
Yay!
Go.
Hi, my name's Alex.
Hi, my name's Maya.
Hi, my name is Aedan, and welcome to the review and giveawaychannel.com.
And today we're going to spoil Skyscraper. Yay!
You don't have to yay twice.
Yeah.
Alright, so Skyscraper, starring who?
Huh?
Starring who? Who's the big...
The Rock.
The Rock.
That's why we have these championship belts from WWE.
Yeah.
'Cause he's
What's
a
The Rock? His name's
superstar.
Dwayne Jonson. Alright? And why do we have the championship belt?
Because he's a WWE superstar.
Yeah, well, it's also mainly because we don't have a big building to show the people.
Oh, we're just making that
But
building.
that microphone there is probably about the closest looking thing we've got, so we just stick that there for show.
I picked it.
Does it look like a building with that big ball on the top?
Yeah.
Yes.
The only problem is it's like about 20 centimeters high instead of big. But we got
Like
the WWE
5,000.
belts. We got the belts there because he used to be a big star. in the
Isn't he
WWE.
still?
Huh?
Isn't he still?
Oh, he does guest appearances from time to time, but you know, The Rock is the highest paid actor, or was the highest paid actor, or maybe is the
Yeah,
highest paid
he's
actor
in
in the world.
Rampage and Jumanji.
He's in every movie every time, mate. He's like in all of them. Anyway, let's go through and let's do spoilers on
Yep.
on Skyscraper, right? So, what do you think it's about? Actually, Aedan, what do you think it's about? Concentrate.
I think it's about saving, Rock saving his family and stopping the building from stopping people in the building, to get hurt.
Yeah, well, there's no people in the building, but anyway, continue on that. What else is it about?
Oh yeah.
Not your favourite bits. What's it about?
Me?
Okay, what's it about?
It's when these bad guys try to get it dry because the guy who built the building, the bad guy said he had to pay them
Or what?
to build the building, so he did. And then he put a location of his money and took it back.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the bad guys threatened the builder, the owner of the building, that if he didn't pay them, he would stop his workforce and stop them being able to build the building. So the boss of the building paid the bad guys. And what he actually did is put a tracer, like a software tracer, in the money he paid them so he could track where the money went and all that sort of stuff.
To get them.
So later on, he could identify who the bad guys really were and put them into the police.
Yeah, and there was a red thing to tell him.
Yeah, and there was a little thing which had all the, like an encrypted, like a USB device, might as well be USB, and it had all the names of all the bad guys that touched all the money, so it could put them in. And the bad guys basically says, if you didn't pay us, we're going to stop you building the building. He paid them, put a tracer on it, to make sure he could get his money back and find the bad guys. And because that happened, the bad guys were there to do what? Destroy?
Yeah, to put a fire in the building.
To destroy the building. Now, the building itself is the most advanced, the safest, the biggest building in the world. Now, the biggest building in the world right now, I think it's called the Khalifa something in United Emirates, UAE, which is another country.
It's
It was
UAE.
1/3 higher than the biggest building currently. Do you remember where the building was built? Do you remember?
Hong Kong.
Where?
Hong Kong.
Good stuff, because we didn't
Wait,
discuss
Hong Kong?
it. Did you know Hong Kong? Hong Kong? That's Hong Kong. That's not far from Philippines, a little bit further over. You know, it's a part of China. All right.
I thought the tallest building in the world is in Melbourne. Because
Not even a little bit close, man.
How about in the Philippines?
Australia doesn't have big buildings.
How about
man.
in the Philippines?
Oh, they got small buildings. This is big, man. The biggest real one is in United Emirates, UAE. There's a new one being built, which is big. I think it's in Saudi Arabia, maybe somewhere over there. This is a pretend building. It's not real.
How about Brisbane?
Brisbane's got nothing, mate. We got like houses compared to them.
Well, there's a big building there and stuff.
All right, well let's move on. Okay, so the biggest building in the world, the safest and all that. Now, Dwayne Jonson, The Rock, the superstar.
Yeah.
Alright, the superstar. He's in it, and he's a guy. And what's special about him? What happened to him?
He was in the war or something and lost his leg.
He lost his leg.
Yeah,
In an
and
explosion.
he was wearing army clothes, and the guy was carrying his child and put him down. Then he got a grenade and opened it. And
Well, it wasn't a grenade. He had all grenades. He had a whole bomb vest on him. He went off, and
I believe he killed his son.
killed his son, killed all his friends and everything.
But the
and,
Rock survived.
He survived and lost his.
Leg, and the Rock ran towards him to stop him.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
that
he was
happened.
buried.
And who was his wife? Do you remember, Aedan? Who was his wife?
I remember.
Do you remember who it was?
Or like
Do you know who his wife was? Do you remember?
It was the doctor who helped him that said he would be okay.
When the Rock guy, Dwayne Jonson, went to the hospital to get fixed, it was his wife that was operating on him. Well, it wasn't his wife then. That's when they met. That's why he said, you know what? If I because they used to think he was unlucky because he got hurt so bad, but he said, no, I'm lucky because that's how I met my wife and why I have beautiful children. All right.
And
So anyway,
the Rock keeps saying Daddy loves him.
yeah, all right. Do you remember why the Rock was working on this building? You remember?
Because
And Dad, what was that red flower thing?
Red flower. What red flower?
The red controller thing.
Oh, the iPad or the other one?
The other thing.
The other one had all the names of all the bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why the bad guys were there to
phone
try and get
number.
all the names of all the bad guys.
phone numbers, addresses, I think.
Yeah, and bank accounts and,
And
everything.
IDs.
Yeah, and then it was going to put them in the police. That's why they were there. They were there to destroy the building, number one, and get that record of all the bad guys because it was an encrypted thing. So, basically, anyway, what was my question to you, Aedan, that you didn't answer? I said...
It was the Rock's wife.
No, we passed that. Alright, anyway, I said why was The Rock working with the owner? He was the guy hired, in actual fact his friend, who was also an army guy, remember his face was all burnt?
Yeah,
He worked for the owner of the building, and he got The Rock, Dwayne Jonson, the job.
he wanted that iPad.
Yeah, they wanted to insure the building. There was an insurance agency wanted to insure the building, and they needed the Rock's. Approval to say that the building was safe to get the insurance. It was just about insuring the building, which is a pretty stupid storyline as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, because half the building was commercial and half the building was residential, the residential side was not open at all because they couldn't insure it. And he was there to check all the systems and software and say everything was good. And he was there to just finish his last checks to give his big tick that it's all good. So the insurance company could insure the building. And then it'd be open for the residential people. People that want to, residential means the people that want to live there, all right? So at the 93rd, it was do you remember how many floors high it was?
I think it was
220.
Well, 220 was the penthouse. That was the penthouse, right?
Yeah, I remember the number. It was 220
Yeah,
floors.
that's 220 floors. And then above that was what?
A big circle.
pearl.
Ball, big sphere.
It looks like a tennis ball.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the bowl.
And they said that the seventh, because there's a thing called the seven wonders of the world, right, which is the most important places in the world. This sphere was going to be the eighth wonder of the world, maybe ninth, because what was special about that ball? People could go there and what?
Everything. There's like a whole bunch of mirrors.
Yeah, well, it wasn't mirrors. There was cameras on the outside, and there was cameras on the inside, right? And so people could go there and
see the outside.
if they turned on the cameras on the outside, what happens?
They see everything.
Everything that was on the outside ends up being the inside, so you can't see. You don't think you're in the room. You just think you're standing on what?
Air.
Sky. You can't see anything.
It looks like you're
Just-
standing on the ground.
Yeah, the whole thing just disappears, and big
the-
TVs come out of the ground and all that stuff.
Also, when the Chinese guy made the floor like invisible and stuff,
He's like,
Yeah, yeah.
welcome
He
to
said-
heaven.
hey, that's what I was gonna say.
He what? Oh, heaven, yeah.
He's like, welcome to heaven.
Heaven, yeah. Because there was anybody who understands video, they were 8K videos. 8K, you know, that's the new generation of video that's coming out as 8K. That was built on 8K. All right, so that was pretty much the main stuff. The other one was because The Rock was inside doing the assessment. His family were the first guests in the residential side, in the living places, but they weren't supposed to be there because they were going where?
To the panda feeding?
Yeah, they're going to the zoo to
Yeah.
go to the pandas, and they come back early. Why?
Because they didn't see the pandas.
Because
No.
their son ate a
Son got sick. The son got
yeah.
sick. And they come home. And they weren't supposed to be there. And that's when the bad guys come in expecting an empty building, or an empty residential side. That was 92nd floor up. Expected it to be empty.
96.
96, yeah, up. And what happened is they were home, and that's where it all started. Is The Rock was outside,
Yeah, of the building and
and the
stuff.
family was inside, and that's when the bad guys shut it down. And one thing is, because of Rock was doing his last assessment,
Rock
he
was
had
in the,
he had a special what?
iPad.
He had a special
he
special
wasn't
device,
he
and
wasn't
that yep,
He wasn't supposed to take it out of the tower.
yeah, wasn't he?
I
Oh.
remember that guy said.
No, he was going to a security centre. He was on his way to a security centre, which is 1 mile away, to do his last assessment. And he had the iPad. And the iPad controlled all the safety things in the building, right? That was what his job was. He had to go and do the last checks. And he was the only one that could control the building. And it was on an iPad. And the
Yeah,
bad guys tried to steal the iPad off him, right?
Yeah, but they actually did steal the iPad off him.
But
But
they got it back.
but the iPad only scans the rock.
Yeah,
to
it was
open
only his face that could make it work, and they got that, and that's what they did. They then they made a fire on the 96th floor.
Yes.
They made a special fire made from powder and water.
And-
Water sets the fire off, right?
I thought that lighter thing was.
No, that was to make smoke, so the water come out of the roof, which hit the powder on the ground, which made the fire.
How does powder fire?
Oh, there's stuff like that.
What
I
type
never
of
knew
powder?
that.
What type of powder?
I can't remember, mate. I really don't know, but
Gas
I'm sure it
powder?
exists. I don't
It
know.
was just like
He
white.
only got that thing to make the smoke alarm
That's
go.
right, to set it off. But anyway, the fire come up, but with the security system, the fire could not go past that floor. It could not go up and it could not go down. It was totally sealed, right? But the bad guys wanted the iPad to what?
To open
The vents?
windows and doors
Well, vents,
for
vents.
the fire can go in.
'Cause fire
the
needs
doors and kill
air.
people.
Do you know fire needs air
To spread.
to get bigger? You know that? Air, it needs fire. You know when we make a campfire and we blow on it?
That
Blowing
makes it bigger.
It goes bigger, right? Remember we wave air into it, it gets bigger. Same
yeah.
thing. So they wanted the iPad to turn off all the water, to open all the vents, so more air could get in the fire, so it would do what?
Spread.
Get bigger.
Spread where?
Up.
Up.
Up
the
and up and up
stairs.
and up. Had another 120 floors to go. And that was
That's,
basically it. And then the whole job was, and then they also kidnapped his kids to try and get, oh that's right, the owner of the building locked himself in his room.
Penthouse.
And the bad guy said to him, if you don't get in there and do this, we're going to kill your kids.
Throw them off the roof.
Throw them off the roof.
No, it was only the sister. It was only the daughter.
Actually, my favorite part was when the guy was talking to the bad guy that had the daughter, and
That's a rock,
and
wasn't
when
it?
the good guy had the gun, said, I'm gonna shoot you, and then the bad guy said, if you shoot me, I'll throw the bomb and I'll throw your daughter, and then the good guy said, fine, you win, but something you have to know. behind you, and then he
That's
cooked,
exactly
and
right.
then he kicked him off the roof,
Yeah.
and then
Grabbed
and then he tried to throw it up. Well, he did throw it up a little bit and went down and exploded him.
But why didn't he know the guy was behind him? Do you remember?
Because there was
screen.
because the mirror.
Big TV in front of him, which
yeah.
had the Rock's face and body. Then he
Yeah,
thought he was the front.
and that was my favorite part. And the funny part is when the TV glitched and he was like, and he made a funny face like,
Yeah.
and then he said, "I'm behind you," and kicked
Yeah,
him off.
That's right. But the owner of the building did it to the Rock earlier, right? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
He did it. That's why he knew it was happening. What was your favourite bit?
When The Rock saves his family.
Yeah, right. At the very end, right? When they're all down the bottom, they're all together again. Yeah,
Cut
yeah,
them in.
yeah.
And then they said you need a
How
shower.
do you remember how he got his son and his wife out of the building? You remember?
Cut the elevator.
Cut the elevator, so the elevator fell. He said count to 5 and then push the brake, right? So, and that was long enough for the elevator to fall through all the fire.
Also, my most funny part is when he wanted it down. The mom was hugging the Rock, and then the mom said, "When we get home, you have to have a shower."
Yeah, 'cause
They-
he stinks.
they're
That's why I
like,
says you
"You live in
stink.
the shower."
You really
No,
stink.
No,
Okay, what's your
he's-
favourite bit?
My favorite bit was when the Rock climbed up the crane and ran to jump into the building when he made.
Oh,
it.
that's right. Yeah, that what was it? The super crane. It wasn't just a crane. It was called a super crane because it was so high. And
Is
the
it
Rock
cranes?
climbed up on it. A super crane because it's for big buildings. And then he ran across the top, and all the police thought he was a bad guy trying to shoot him. And then he jumped off the end and went where?
Into the building.
Into the
And
building.
then a sharp thing went in his shoulder.
Concrete.
No, here.
I think it was here.
It was higher.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah. So he
And before
jumped in
he
the
got on the
building.
crane, he almost fell.
All right. Well, we're going to finish up because we're at 17 minutes now, which is getting a bit high.
Let's get to 20
No,
minutes.
that's enough. So anyway, we'll get. What do we think of the movie?
Good.
Nice.
Now, we should say it's a rated M. It's a rated M, which means it's not really for kids. It's more for adults. What's the worst thing in it? What's the worst thing in it? You know, what's the worst thing?
Killing?
Yeah, a lot of people got killed in it. That's why it's rated M. Was there any swearing? I didn't hear any swearing.
I did.
There was? F words?
Yep.
Yeah, there was only a couple people that said it.
Yeah, there was. I don't think it was rated. I don't think it should be rated M. I don't think it was that hardcore. But anyway, we learned some stuff there. So The Rock's in another big movie, and we'll get this online tonight. Yeah.
Review and comment down below.
Yeah.
And comment, review, press the thumbs up and press the bell, and then comment down below.
What if you've seen the movie?
Subscribe.
And comment down below if you've seen the movie.
All right. So that's pretty much it. We'll say goodbye on that, and we'll finish up. Okay.
Yep.
Bye.
Comment down if you've seen the movie. Bye
And
bye.
don't put thumbs down, then you won't have much toy.
Alright.
Also shout out
And
Alex.
fidget spinners.
Also shout out Alex Fraser.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.